Hello, Gravitrons. I'm more gravity. Let's play chess. All right. not get a very accurate reading on review. What I'm gonna do here, folks, is get a second opinion, as they say. Go to lichess.org and see if their analysis engine has anything to shed light on this game. I'm sure it will. Just saying. Let's see what we can glean from spending some time with and analyzing this game at lichess.org. That's it. Looks like the game is fully analyzed, and I kind of thought this might be the case. Black's play is more accurate. Once in a while, you get a hunch that maybe. Well, first of all, Lichess is usually a little bit more accurate. And their readings just run that way. That's the way they like it, and it's a great way for them to be. And I kind of had a hunch that my play was above 80. I'm being a little bit sneaky here because of the 79.9. But yes, I thought I played a good game, and overall, I did. Maybe somewhere in the middle. Like people say, the truth is often somewhere in the middle. Okay. With that in mind, let's review this game using our usual chess.com review. Alright, so I have the black pieces. This is the Russian game. It's all booked into here, with the knight move to c5. We're out of book. And I wanted to get some kind of attack going against the queen side. I thought that white might be vulnerable on c2, but the play shows that I might have underestimated how strongly the queen can maintain control of c2. So this adventurous move, knight to b4, maybe not next time. It might be not the stinker in the bunch, but instead here for black, bishop g4, bishop e6 is real solid, right? Bishop f5 isn't too crazy either, so these are all sound moves. Even bishop d7, this bishop has a lot of freedom of movement. So instead of knight to b4, I would probably choose to move my light squared bishop. Bishop b4 is played, and a3 is an excellent move. Gaining a space on b4, not just that one space. That's in space. That's all that was gained. Just that one, just this b4 square. But then in initiative, I must spend time to recoil or probably retreat. Retreat my knight to c6. And I say time, I mean a little bit of clock and a lot of initiative. I'm going to play knight, as played knight to c6 here, and black is a little bit flat-footed now, where there's even some kind of material win on the board against the move knight c6. So yeah, this all goes back to my decision to play knight to b4. Now, okay, given the time, and noting now that c6 was a blunder, a full-on blunder. Yeah, it looks like we're already in trouble before knight to c6, though. Bishop b4. Where did we first get in trouble here, guys? Computer doesn't like knight to c5. And doesn't like knight to c6 either. Well, this is good for me to notice now. That's going to change how I play It might change something. Pawn to b4 doesn't quite get at what they're looking for. This game was a botched game, my friends. Well, yeah, this was a botched game. White has this strong advantage through move 11, I'd say, right? Not quite. White has this strong advantage through black's 10th move. And black, I did a good duty to sew up my wounds here with bishop to e6. And now the game is a little bit less clear, though I'm attacking a bishop on c5, so I have some initiative there. I've put, direct attacks against my king. They're out for now with the bishop on e6. I'm attacking a knight on c3 that has no defenders. Not only that, but that knight is, I would say, pinned, because upon moving, then it's queen takes a1 check. There's a number of balls in the air here. Queen takes a1 check, and then king to d2. Pawn takes c5, and we're looking at a board. White has so much more material. I can jettison some ballast here with castle's queenside. Alright, so I earn a knight, 3 points of material by giving up what was it, a knight, a bishop and a pawn. But the board is settling, and I got news for white. His pieces are less developed than mine. I'm gonna be safe once my king moves to b8. Another pawn, and there's all kinds of threats on b4 check with the bishop, with the queen in some cases. So this is just showing things. This is just finishing things up. Make this a checkmate, and there it is. I think that was the only game we played on this trip. Or did we play this one? I don't recall. Let's play another game. Interesting. Alright, that's going to be the last game in this broadcast. For playing wise, but I will probably review both the game that just finished and the game before that. I'm going to take a look here to see if I really want to review these games, if they're good games to go over or not. Because I wouldn't want to review any games to you if there wasn't some good reason. Trying to do what I can to teach what I know. Alright, so this is the game I lost. Looked like I built quite a strong attacking position here. If we go maybe towards the height of things, you know, they say the height of civilization or the height of Roman civilization. This is going to be the height of white in this one particular chess game. And we had things, we had a strong positional advantage on the board here. Down one in material. Let's see if we can do well given a second chance, a second shot here. The thing I would advise is probably bishop takes b6, pops right out at you, doesn't it? I like this move, and then when black recovers, I've at least won a pawn already. Might be able to capture on c7, king captures, and there's no immediate follow-up. The other idea would be to continue to use this pinned piece as a weakness for black. Bishop c5, right? We play bishop c5, it'll just get captured by the queen, but does that pull her off of some kind of duty elsewhere that white might be able to take advantage? It might, but not to the tune of a bishop, not from what I see yet. Trading on c7 is an idea. White might capture on d7 when the bishop recaptures. We can use that bishop now as our new pinned piece and play queen to e6 in the space left behind by the bishop at e6, and black will scramble to cover here even before capturing on b6. There's no good capture there, so black will scramble with some type of cover. I'm thinking queen to f8, and that's it. That's the only move that keeps things intact there for black, as e7 and d6 are both covered by white's knight. So queen to e8 and then knight to g7 keeps pushing up, applying more and more pressure, and white has this pawn. The queen's under attack, but there's now the square e7 left behind by the move knight takes g7. I'm not sure. This was all starting with the knight's not the only pin. How about knight to d6? Couldn't this rustle some feathers soon enough with knight to f7 or knight captures c8? Knight to b7 check. That looks particularly deadly for pulling the defend. It will pretty much pull the defender off of d7. I like knight to to d6. Blunder. Then after, aside from that, I would say trades on c7. Well, it's good. All right, so we'll keep that in mind as a good move. There we go. All right. Hmm. Interesting. All right, I wonder if I'll bet. That would have been my first choice. I don't know how queen takes g7 could be the best move there. It doesn't seem right. Give up a queen for a night like that. Let's go back. Okay. Uh, I'll say that turned out to be a rather complicated solve. From this position, white is ahead by about a rook according to the computer, and black is ahead by a pawn according to material. I think yes, white is ahead, and the solve is lengthy, difficult. It doesn't break until late, and all those things. That just means that it, it's just exactly that. That it was not an obvious win. This game we played. This game I did win. This is the most recent game I've completed. It's not a game again. Well, I completed a game against a computer with the computer taking over for the player in this last game. But in terms of an actual game, we mean a human versus another human. This is the most recent game I've played and completed. Let's take a look. I gotta remind myself what happened at the white pieces. This is a segue into a specific portion of the English opening. Even if c4 is played as a second move, I'm starting a pawn storm early. My opponent makes this nice move h6, which complicates things and sort of forces white to attack and attack strong. We get some of black's attackers out of the way, and then it's checkmate on h8. Definitely also a really complicated game. It was do not let 15 moves fool you. This was not an easy game to win. My opponent had some great ideas. Like I said, specifically, where is it? Pawn to h6 here. You know, this is a great. My opponent has the lead in according to the progress bar. This says this is like the putting the question to the bishop of all putting to the questions of the bishop to the bishop or whatever. h6 I felt this very strong move. The reason is, yes, I can just liquidate on f6, so that might be the best move computer wise. In fact, let's take a quick look at that. Bishop takes f6, queen takes f6, and we look at this board. Even material, it's kind of a ho-hum board. I mean, maybe it looks like black is ahead by 1.8, but knight to f3 stalls most of the activity. I'm gonna play bishop e2 or bishop e3, castle kingside. This doesn't say so much. I don't know how it's got to the progress. I don't know how the progress bar got to 1.8 in black's favor here. Maybe like I said, knight back pedals to f3, and okay, so black has two pieces on the knight at c3, but queen c2, queen c2, queen b3, queen d3, even queen d4 looks good. I don't like queen to d2 because if you really don't like this bishop that much, play a3. So yeah, there's a lot of really great moves here for white. A3 doesn't do it, but and queen a4 is off as well. We have to be able to defend against two attackers. So any of these moves has to put the queen on a square where she protects the knight on c3. Queen to c1, rook to c1. So anyway, this is a whole different game, and I'm not exactly sure how it gets to be two pawns in the favor of black. Here I was extolling the brilliance of h6 here. So it changes. What I really felt about this move, it makes white decide. He has to decide whatever it is. And I said, na poo poo, I'm going to find the best move without deciding. f3 was a really strong move here I played. I was worried right after. I said, how the heck am I going to get to the H file in time? But, great moves sometimes induce mistakes. And knight to d7 is one of those mistakes. gives white just enough time to play f4. And now with the just one more tempo wasted by black, and the white queen is on h5. And there's some ways probably to shimmy out of this for black by, throwing away a bishop for a knight trade doesn't quite do it, and it's checkmate on h8 not too long thereafter. Interesting move. I think this move f3 here, it shows I know what I'm talking about, because even if I had visually accounted for a queen on h5 earlier, the main point was to just make a move that stops black's attack. White's attack in this position is going to play itself. Well, if we stop black's attack, then we're the only attack in town. And isn't that nice? All right. It's queen h8 checkmate. We were looking at this game with all kinds of complications, mostly favoring white, but only if you find the right move. And this game is the same game played out to finish against Computer on Maximum. We're gonna get the review on this game if we can. I'd like to review this game. Why can't I review it? Okay, there we go. The review. And yes, played out to finish a respectably accurate game. See this fruit punch here in the beginning kind of gets like it wasn't that bad after all, but also that the play thereafter was great play. Bishop takes b6. Now this is already a stray from the game as it was. Well, my opponent won, and this is a what if. Like, what if I had found the right move, kind of at the right time, kind of thing. Bishop b6 check, and black's defenses crumble. We saw even a second brilliant move and a couple great moves. So we're definitely, this, even though we took over mid-game, I'll add this to one of my game collections where I deem appropriate. We reviewed a lot of this live on Twitch, so that's true. Includes sacrifice, I'll go with that. This is almost all collected. The whole reason for the folder. Okay. And we'll put the stem game in some of those folders so we don't scratch our heads about where this came from. All right. I think that's it for this broadcast, my friends. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Gravitrons. I'm more gravity. Have a great night.